Here we go, guys. Full living room makeover time in the new place. I say new, but we've been here for a couple months now. We pretty much dropped our stuff in here on moving day and really haven't touched it since. So it's time to finally make it that cozy vibe that we strive for, just in time for fall and winter. Day one of the living room. We have some big changes to make in here. I don't have a full plan for it. It's kind of going to be a as we go roll with it. The very first step is dismantling the mantle. Before we start ripping things out, go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. So as you can see, we're starting with the fireplace here, tearing down this mantle, which was pretty well built. Overall for this room, we really wanted to capture the cozy like we did in our last house. So you will see a lot of familiar things with some new accents mixed in. Oh my goodness. Feels like our biggest demo. Let's talk through a couple decisions here that we have to make. So we just got back from Lowe's where we picked up the drywall, obviously, to fill in this new gaping hole. We weren't expecting to have to take off that much. We took this tile off here. You can see there's a lot of glue still on this fireplace. I just spent a long time trying to chip away at this glue. We do think we're gonna end up doing some tile around it and swapping out the tile that's down here as well. Let me show you what we just picked up from Lowe's. It's a little bit dirty now, but also does have some cool kind of texture in it. This is what is going to be going on the bottom on the floor, and then we've got this surrounding it, which is not everyone's taste, but we wanted a cool black look. To end day one, we had to replace all this drywall here, mud that, and wait for it to dry. Day two, the French word, deux. Today we're doing, well, when I say we, it mostly lands on Nick. I'm here for the problem solving portions. The floor tile can happen because this has to happen before the wall can happen because it's gonna sit right on top of there. Another thing that I didn't mention is that we wanna clean up this area a lot. Nick wants to get rid of all this stuff under here if that's possible. I don't know what you put there instead.
Some of it has to stay, but I would just want to change the look of it.
Yeah, it for sure, it's a mess. Hopefully turning these back pieces black so everything is kind of seamless and you don't really think about it.
In other news, the glue is sticky.
You know I will never claim to know everything in the DIY world, so definitely use the wrong adhesive here. Do as we say, not as we're doing. I will link the correct stuff down below. This just took a little bit extra longer to dry. As you can see, Nick is making sure that these tiles go down level. To cut the tiles, we rented this wet saw from Home Depot for the day, and as you can see, we only had a few cuts, so it was pretty straightforward. Weekend number 2, we are at our first stop of the day, Lowe's. How many times today do you think we will be here? We are here to get the mortar to try and finish up the fireplace today. This project definitely took a little bit longer than I was originally planning for. Just had to do everything kind of spread out, and when we had time on the weekends, we were able to borrow this tile saw from a friend for the weekend. So shout out to Justin for that. But as you can see, Nick's sticking these up with the mortar, and I'm going through and just cleaning them off. About halfway through my pregnancy now, and it's a little tricky sitting on the sidelines and not being able to do as much as I'd like to. But very thankful for Nick's help in this room. The final piece, and we're debating which one looks better. This one, it's just wet, or the one that Nick says has more character. I really think that one lines up better on the side.
You're a winner in my heart, Bob.
Back from our second trip to Lowe's. Here is the inspiration picture that I kind of want to work off of now in terms of the shiplap and see how it goes kind of far past this mantle. I've got the mantle coming in, and I was just realizing the mantle that I ordered is the same width as our floor piece here. I feel like I need to bring the shiplap past it a little bit at least to be able to mount it onto the wall. I've never ordered a mantle online before. It was kind of hard to see the colors, so I'm hoping this is the wood tone that I'm wanting in here. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I love that. It's kind of like has a hammered front to it. I think the saying is couples who shiplap together stay together. So we started with these side trim pieces and cut multiple boards at a time to hang here right in the middle, just like I did on our last fireplace. The only difference is this is a lot wider, so a little bit trickier to work with, but I love this tongue and groove shiplap. It goes up so smoothly. All you have to do is pop them together. Don't need any spacers, and here we are with our nail gun. We marked all the studs in the wall so they are nailing into the studs, and just one outlet that Nick had to cut out with our jigsaw. As always, pointing out that nothing is perfect in the world of DIY. That is where caulk comes in to fill in little gaps and mistakes. As you can see here, had a couple gaps along the shiplap, which is a little bit trickier to caulk just because of all the spaces in between. So I went ahead and just did a line down there, wipe off the excess with a wet rag. I love baby wipes. I never leave home without them. To get it out of the spaces in between, I went in with a scrap piece of wood and just scraped it out. But if you have a better way, please let me know. Quick shot of this mantle to show you how simple it was to hang up. As you can see, it's hollow on the back, comes with a piece of wood that you mount on the wall, so all you have to do is slide it on and then you screw it into that wood on the wall. Good morning, it's day 3 of working on the fireplace. I think 3. It's actually the afternoon. I'm grabbing this big ladder over here. Nick had to go out of town today for the next couple days basically. I've got my dad coming over, he's on his way, of course, to help me swap out this fan. I also picked up the paint to start on the walls here, and we're going with just the brightest white possible. It's going to be the same on the walls as it is on the shiplap. I'm thinking maybe down the line, if I feel like switching things up, we'll paint this shiplap a cool color. But for now, I'm gonna stick with the classic white. One of my favorite parts about this room is that wall of windows they let in so much light, and it looked so much bigger when I took down all of the blinds that were there. They were just old, dusty, and a little bit breaking. So I took them down, and I'm gonna hang some curtains up later. While Nick was out of town, I took the time to start painting this wall. I told myself I was never gonna paint another room in this house with the 9-foot ceilings just because it's so exhausting. But I didn't really have time. I wanted this project to get done, so I was like, let's just do it. And it was a little bit more than I anticipated. It's a large room, but I'm really glad that it is done now. Went in with the extra white over the course of several days, but it made all of the difference in this room. Did not realize how dark this room was until we saw the white on the walls. Days later, and I am finally done painting in the living room. Here's what this brightness looks like. We still have to do this board. Whoa, still have this top board to do, but you can see the difference. That was the wall color. This is the new one. Now that I've got everything painted though, I am standing here and kind of thinking I might want to do an accent color over here. That was kind of my thought all along, but I want to get everything in the room assembled, change the colors out in here. So for today is cleanup day, and finally swapping out the sofa covers. So I am gonna get these curtains off the floor. As a rule, generally you want your curtain rods to come out about 10 to 12 inches past the end of your window, so that when your curtains are hanging and resting, they're not covering up part of your window. You also want to hang them pretty much as high as you can to the ceiling, maybe come down a few inches. I typically go with like 2 to 3 inches, just depending on my curtain rod. So I'm gonna measure that out now. And then I pretty much just go through and measure the exact same thing in all of the spots so that they are identical, and that is the quickest way that I have done it, but I'm sure there are probably better ways. As I change out these covers, I want to thank my friends over at Home Reserve for partnering with me again on this video. I will link my last living room makeover where we put together and fell in love with this modular sofa You saw this come over with us in the moving vlog, but we have a much bigger space to work with in this living room. So what's fantastic about Home Reserve is that we can add pieces to our sectional at any time. Breaking the sofa apart made it really easy to work with here on my own, and even easier to move to this house. The sectional is so customizable and can grow to fit the new space perfectly. As you'll see, I ended up putting another piece into our sofa to make it a little bit longer. And as you can see, with the changeable fabrics, we could change the whole look of the sofa. So I was able to give this space a fresh new look without even having to change our couch. So it's the same couch, just a new look. I mention this all the time in my cleaning videos, but I love this sofa because there is storage in every seat. Every cushion cover comes off and you can throw it in the wash. So yes, it is white, but don't you worry, we can wash everything. I looked at many different fabric samples before choosing this Retriever Bisque. It's also stain resistant. If you want to check out Home Reserve, I will link them down below. They are perfect for awkward, tight spaces or just something that you want to customize. Got the rest of the couch switched over last night. Nothing is connected. I'm waiting for the rug to get here today so that I can just move everything into place really easily and then connect it without having to like move the entire thing. That's what I love about this couch. Now I'm about to assemble the second chair. This is the first one. I've got a matching one to go here. So we'll have two chairs over here. So I'm gonna put this together. It's actually kind of fun now that I've done it so many times because I've used their furniture in several different videos. It's like putting together a puzzle. It's kind of like a fun, relaxed puzzle. Put on an audiobook, put on some music. These chairs over here are a slightly different style than our sectional, but still have storage inside. These rounded arms gave off a slightly softer and cozier feel to me than our tuck sectional. These are the Lainey chairs in Retriever Barley. After playing with the layout of this room, you'll see I only ended up using one in the corner for now. I might switch it up later, but I've got the other one down in our basement. I feel like you never really can tell the colors of a rug until you get it. I ordered almost all of my rugs online. It's just easier. I really like the charcoal flecks. Ooh, that looks really pretty though. Okay, it has officially been a week since I started painting this room. I finished the white, as you guys have seen. Got the couch all put together. I basically sat here the other night and just kind of looked around and was thinking like, what does this room need? So naturally that means that I have to get back on the ladder and paint again. I'm going in with this iron ore color, which I think will pull out this dark color in the rug really well. I just miss painting so much. I just wanted more painting to do, but I am really excited about how this is gonna look. I feel like this is what's going to make the room for me. You don't normally see me doing taping, but because this is such a dark color that I'm painting on the wall, I want the crispiest lines possible. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over them first with the white paint that's on the wall. So that way, if anything bleeds through, it's the white that's already underneath. And when I paint over it with the gray, it should be a really crisp line. There shouldn't be any kind of bleeding through. I don't think I have ever had a crisper line than this. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. I've been waiting for one box to come in. It's finally here. It got delayed by several days, so I'm gonna assemble this really quick. This was 100 times easier to assemble than any piece of IKEA furniture because all the directions were so good. I love that this color matches almost perfectly with the mantle up here. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is I was expecting it to be a little bit longer. Yes, I could have and should have measured. Because there's little holes in the back, we were able to get all of our cords in here, and you can see almost nothing. We have one sensor that has to stay on the top. Tonight, I am trying to mount these cabinets. So this will be the storage for the girls' stuff. They can still use this area as a play area. Last up were all of the finishing details. Everything kind of came in at different times. I found this gorgeous black coffee table, some artwork, and some shelves for beside the fireplace. I think in the long run we might do some built-ins, but I wanted to take my time and think through exactly what we want there in the long run. For now, we're just gonna do these mountable shelves. With this room, I really wanted it to be cozy, kind of stylish, yet still practical for our family. So I really struggled with picking things out and trying to figure out just where everything needed to go. This was a hard one for me, but I do love how it turned out, and I think it is very cozy, especially at night in here. You can turn these flameless candles on. Boom. Behind the couch area, I still left as a little play area for our girls. We will be switching out our flooring eventually, but this is a big space for them. They have all their things stored away in these cabinets here. This area was one of the hardest parts. I still feel like I will play around with it. Without this wall, this room would be totally different, and I'm so glad we went dark over here. It's what makes it cozy to me and kind of ties in the charcoal and black of the fireplace. The couch, I'm absolutely obsessed with. I am so glad that we changed this out. First of all, I love the feel of this material. It's so much softer than the other one that we had. So I know it looks white, but it is very, very easy to wipe off. And of course, all of these cushions you can throw off and put in the washing machine very easily. And finally, tying that charcoal color back in from the wall and the fireplace, we have the rug with the different grays in it. And I think it's the perfect touch to tie it all together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, nighttime is really my favorite time to be in this room. It is just so relaxing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could like, leave a comment, subscribe, that'd be awesome. If you want to see some more makeover videos, I've got more coming at you. So I will see you soon. As always, happy cleaning and DIY.